What's a tender eye? I'll repeat. This is entitled, What's a Tender Eye? What did that mean, man? That means something sort of look at. You know, not too much of a looker. I'm gonna bring you to a chapter with Jacob. Jacob was a grown man, and he was seeking a woman named Rachel that he saw was beautiful. And Laman, his father-in-law, said if you work 7 years, you can get what you want. Okay, so he worked 7 years, and he gave him the other sister, which name was Leah, and she was tender-eyed, which means she wasn't a looker. She wasn't as beautiful as Rachel. And then Jacob, he said, you have beguiled me, you tricked me. And Laman said, hold on now. It is a Hebraic custom that we don't give away the youngest daughter first in marriage. We always gotta give away the elder first. Now let's bring you back. Okay, Jacob came out of the womb of his mother second, grabbing the heel of Esau, his brother. Brother came out first. Okay, now they called him a little trickster. Esau came out, and it said the father, Isaac, loved him, you know, favored him because he was a man of the field. You know, he was a hunter. You know, he get out there and do stuff on the outside. And Jacob was more of a tent dweller. He's more of a mama's boy or whatever, you know, inside man. So the father favored him. So one day, Esau was out hunting, and he was hungry and thirsty. And Jacob saw opportunity. He caught him slipping. And he was like, oh, you hungry and thirsty? He said that birthright that's supposed to be given to the first son, which is the Hebraic culture, let me get that up at you for this food. And Esau said, well, what good is this? What good is this birthright when I'm hungry and thirsty right now? Yeah, you can get it. So he gave him the verbal, said, yeah, you can get it. But notice that Esau despised it. Why did he despise it? Because there's responsibilities that come with the birthright. Okay, now understand that Jacob had an insecurity that was within himself that made him be a manipulator that came from his father that wasn't checked. Okay, so he got the birthright from his brother verbally, but he had to get it blessed from his father Isaac. And his mother helped him and showed him how to trick his father, because his father was having problems seeing at that time. He could barely see. So, but he knew Esau about the feel of his skin, because Esau was very hairy. You know, he came out red and very hairy. So his mother showed him how to put something on his arms to make it feel, you know, like he's hairy and he's Esau. So his father ended up blessing him, tricked his father into blessing him and giving him the birthright, the responsibilities. Now let's bring you back up to speed. Later on in his adulthood, he got tricked by Laman into marrying the one that he did not want, the sword eye, the tender eye. Now think about this. What this got to do with us? Let's bring this to us. Now, there are situations that occur in our life, you know, well, we don't know that we're dealing with some trauma, some triggers that happen in our youth, or could have been in past relationships. Most time it's in our youth, is the way we respond to our adulthood. And in our relationships, it trickles down into our relationships and our marriage, and we deal with each other accordingly. Now, with him dealing with some insecurities that came from his father that went unchecked, he had to correct that to get what he really wanted. See, Laman said, hey, if you work 7 more years, then you can get Rachel. I want you to pay attention to the number 7. The number 7 is the number of completion. That's what that means. It didn't mean that he actually had to work 7 years. That means coming to a complete understanding of where you are and who you are. So at that time of his 7 years of completion that he worked for, he figured out that he was teary-eyed. He had some insecurities about himself. He wasn't the beauty that he wanted from his woman. He wasn't that himself inside, because it starts on the inside. Because we always going to attract what's in the inside. It doesn't matter. We can change faces, but we always going to deal with the same situation if we go unchecked. You know, we always going to reflect and attract what we are. So if we want good, if we want great, we have to be there first. And so we have to check ourselves first to see what we are, because it's automatic, law of attraction. Now, if it go unchecked and we keep getting the same type of situation just with a different face, that's because it's about us. It's not about the person. Okay? Now, this is the thing that Jacob did do that I applaud him for. Yes, he said one time, you have beguiled me. But then he said, okay, I got to work another 7 years. He put in the work. He put in the work. He put in another 7 years to evaluate himself and come into the wholeness of himself so he can attract the wholeness of the other side of himself, which is the beauty, which is Rachel. So we have to do the work. Sometimes we have some insecurities and we have some traumas and some triggers, and you don't know that when you hooking up with people, when you in your low vibration, all you do is attract the same type of situation. Trauma bonds. Trauma bonds. And you think it's a soul tie. There's good and bad soul ties, but don't be soul tied to a trauma bond. Be soul tied to a purpose person. 7 years, that means completion, coming to understanding. I don't care if you got to do therapy and then talk to people that's going to hold us accountable to dig into our life, you know, without trying to put it in the atmosphere and belittle each other and try to put down somebody to lift ourselves up, because that's not how it works, man. He said, if I be lifted up, who is that? Abba Yehovah, be lifted up, he would draw all men unto him. So we have to lift him up to understand who we are, so we can be complete, because we have traumas and triggers that happen in our life experience in this vessel that we have to master before it masters us. Sometimes, not sometimes, the Heavenly Father holds certain things back, certain people, certain gifts, certain achievements, certain prizes back, because we're not operating in a certain frequency where we can sustain it and we can utilize it and we can cultivate it properly, because we are perverted, we are corrupted. It's kind of like the Heavenly Father got a Bugatti waiting on you in the garage, you know, as soon as you turn a certain age. But if you don't take the time to learn how to drive properly, then why would he give you that Bugatti to wreck it? We have to check it. It's called love, man. It's called love. So we need to search from within and see what it is inside of us that we need to correct, so we can attract the wholeness of us and not the lower vibration of us. So it's okay to kick back, sit back, heal. And the only way to heal is to reveal, put it out on the table, and not try to put on fig leaves and act like it's all good. We put on fig leaves and try to act like, okay, we got success, we got money, you know, we look good but still losing, you know. But the whole thing about winning is all about being whole, man. It's not a look. We ain't supposed to have a look of rich. It's about being rich. Not having a look of power, but denying the power. Not having a look of godliness, but denying the power. Not having the look of holiness, but be whole for real, for real. Hey, we are Jacob. We are Jacob. It's okay to self-check, man, so we can attract the beauty. Look at the sword eye that's within us, that's not what we really like. Evaluate that, lay it out on the table, master that thing, and watch. You don't even have to look for it. You like a magnet. It's coming to you. It said when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. That doesn't mean he went out looking. He wasn't on Tinder. He wasn't on dating sites. He didn't have to go to the club. He was operating in his purpose when it found him. Boaz. And the same thing with females too. We don't have to look, we attract. And how do we do that? By being what we want. By being the highest version. Man, this is Exodus Effect. Escaping that bondage mindset. If you like this type of vibe, I need you to like, share, and subscribe, man. I'm out. Love you. Be great.